from terrymlee.com, and I'm here to talk to you today about how you can use your superpower to build your online business. Now you're probably thinking, okay, she's really lost it now. What is she talking about, superpowers? Well, let me explain. Stick with me and I promise you, you'll understand. So, for those that know me, know I'm pretty technical. Yes, I have a degree in computer science, but none of that really helped with building an online business. In fact, it kind of became a distraction, but that's a story for another day. Today, we're going to talk just about superpowers. So, my superpower actually probably started when I was a young kid. I was that kid that took apart the vacuum cleaner and was determined to fix it and put it back together, or take apart radios and put them back together so I could understand how they work. But even that wasn't quite the superpower. It was the underlying support, if you will, in my superpower. I always liked tinkering and understanding things and figuring them out, but more importantly, I like to be able to teach and share with whatever I learn, and that was part of it. But again, still not all of it. And so as we go through this little video, you should think about what skills that you have acquired or done, or things that are uniquely you that people think, oh man, I wish I could do that. So maybe it's writing really well. And I don't mean that your punctuation or the right grammar is used, but you really convey your message clearly. I mean, they're writers in the White House, so this skill, obviously, somebody's going to pay for. So there's so many skills that we dismiss as not being money makers because they think, oh, anybody can do it. But that's not true. Anybody can't always do what you do. So let's continue on just a little bit. So I want you to go grab a piece of paper and pen or pencil, because I'm going to give you a quick exercise and I'm going to be able to demonstrate my superpower. So you've heard me talk, yes, technical and kind of understanding and deciphering things. Well, I had no idea how that would play into my superpower. So what is it? Just tell me already, right? What's my superpower? My superpower is that I can take complex and especially technical things and make it relatable to anybody, even though they have no, say, techie experience or techie expertise. Now, that might not sound like such a big deal, but imagine you're in a boardroom, an executive boardroom, and this is where it really came into play. I could take complex concepts that we were trying to say implement in an organization and make it so that the regular executives that maybe they had their other expertise but they weren't technical could understand. So here's an example of what I mean. I had a friend some years ago that was doing something technical and technology was not their background, and it had to do with databases. Now stay with me, we're going to use a little technology terms, but they were like, I'm reading this material and they're talking about databases and fields and searches and I just don't get this. Like, what are they talking about? And I was like, you already know what a database is. They're like, what? No, I don't. I was like, yeah, you do. I was like, have you ever been to a public phone booth, or maybe not even a phone booth, but you've gotten those big yellow phone books? Now, they've become almost as ancient as dinosaurs these days, but think about also your contacts list maybe on a smartphone. But in this example, we were talking about phone books, and I was like, so you've had to, let's say, look up a business. Maybe you needed some plumbing work done or some housework done, right? How did you find it in the phone book? And they were like, well, I went to the plumbing section and I found, a list of plumbers. And I was like, okay. So the phone book is divided into approximately 2 sections. You have just the alphabetical listings for people, And then you have the sections for like businesses, like plumbing or, house cleaners or what have you. And they were like, yeah, okay. So I said, when you go look up even plumbing or what have you, it then starts to list them typically alphabetically, correct? Yeah. I said, so it might go by business name or something like that. Yeah. So, but I said, so each field, each business name is called a field. And then they have like the address, that's a field. And the phone number is also a field. We just give it a name that makes sense to us. So the first part of the phone book, which the phone book is an entire database, see? And then if you're looking up a person, it's typically last name, first name, and then you might have an address and, city, state, phone number. Each item in there is a field in the database, and each person or each group of information that's the last name, first name, what have you, is considered a record. And then they had that light bulb moment. They were like, oh my goodness, that's what databases are? I was like, yes, that's an oversimplification, but yes, it's just different terms, but we can relate it to our everyday lives. And the same thing goes with your contact list. If you now look at your contact list, that last name is a field, the first name is a field, and you search, and it's typically alphabetically, and you find what you're looking for. So that's a database. So see, I told you knew about technology. It's really not that hard. It's just applying it to something we can identify with. So that's not even my best example. So remember that piece of paper and pencil or pen I told you to go get? So now we're going to do an example that relates to an online business in today's world. So what I want you to do is go outside your home. I don't care if that's a house, an apartment, or a trailer home. I don't care. And I want you to write some notes. So the first thing you're going to do is look at your door in comparison to your neighbor's door. Let me know what you see. Is it the same color, the same style, or what have you? Now, no fair cheating if it's a holiday and you've got some decorations. I'm talking about, how does your door look on a normal, just every day of the week kind of look? Then look at the surroundings. Maybe this only applies to like houses, but do you have toys in your yard? Do you have furniture outside? What separates it? Is it junky? Is it cluttered? Is it manicured lawn? Do you have bushes? Are they trimmed, looking nice? You get the idea about what I'm trying to say. So I've already kind of told you, your front door is your landing page. Whether it's fair or unfair, people will make a judgment about your house, its worth, its value, based upon what they see when they first walk by it, drive by it, or what have you. So your landing page is just that. It's the first thing that people see when they come to your website, is that front page. Is it neat? Is it cluttered? Can they tell what it's about? Does it look like it's going to be helpful for them, or what? So anyway, that's a quick overview of how I relate, or how I teach or use my superpower to help people build their own online business, because I have a knack for being able to break the complex and the technology piece down into everyday language so that you can understand. So in the comments below, I'd love to know what your superpower is. Thanks for watching.